Good morning, Essential Stencil friends. This is Grace here at the Comfy Nest with Grace, getting ready to share with you the new design for the Stencil of the Month Club for December. I'm very excited. I was able to collaborate with the company and their fantastic staff to put this together for you. I cannot wait to show you because this is going to be really versatile. It's Christmas time, but I really wanted to make sure that the design this month was something you could use year round. You certainly can use it now, but you can use it in July, you can use it in March, you can use it any time of year. I think it's going to be really universal. So hello and welcome. Make sure that you say hello when you come on. There'll be 3 sets of stencils given away today, and the way they choose the winners is through the comments. So make sure you say hello. Tell us you're here. Tell us where you're coming from. Tell us anything. Tell us the weather. Tell us if you're crafting today or creating. Just tell us it all. Hello, Miss Kathy. Good morning, Cindy in Wisconsin. And Maria's here. Hello, hello. I'm going to try to grab these comments here on my iPad just below this phone where I'm broadcasting from, because I want to be able to see your comments while I'm crafting. And I'm going to turn this phone down in a minute so you can see the craft. So hang tight while I just try to please get Facebook to cooperate here. Where are the comments? I think I'm getting it, girls. There we go. Yay! Sprinkled in Michigan. Thank you, Jennifer. What Jennifer means by the word sprinkled is she did this. She hit that little button that says this. Facebook doesn't like when we use that word, apparently, verbally, like out loud. So we say sprinkled. We're trying to trick them. We're trying to trick Marky Z into letting us share our stuff, sprinkle our stuff out in the world. Hello, Donna. You guys, I'm still drinking coffee. Hi, Crystal. Hello, hello. She says it's cold in Texas. My sister lives in Florida, and she said she was trying so hard not to turn the heat on. Oh, my goodness. Hi in Kentucky, Miss Andrea. Hey, Kristen in Delaware. I've got family in Delaware. Hello, Billy in Mississippi. And Sandy is here from Texas. Fran is here from cold Washington State. Who has cold? Who has warm weather? Tell us. Tell us what you got going on where you are. Deanne, thank you for sprinkling in North Dakota. North Dakota in the house. Whoop, whoop. I live in North Dakota. My business is based in Devil's Lake, North Dakota. And Deanne lives in North Dakota. We want all the North Dakota girls. Like, really, North Dakota, South Dakota, Wyoming, Montana, Minnesota. Where are all the Midwest girls? Where are all the girls from the plains? And guys, I mean, you're all welcome too. Carolyn says, we may get snow on Saturday. Thank you, Christine. That was a fun way to say good morning. Thank you for that. Kathy says, yes, it is cold in Texas. Yeah, tell us where you're all coming in from. Lisa, I went to college in Pennsylvania. I lived there for quite a while after college, too. I loved Pennsylvania. All right, listen, girls. Let me show you this. Make sure you say hi so that you get in on a chance to win a set of stencils. They'll give away 3 today during the live broadcast. They'll also give another one away within 24 hours of the broadcast finishing to a replay watcher. So if you're coming in and watch the replay, make sure you comment replay. So there you have it, 4 sets of stencils. Sandy says it's 33. She's here from Southeast Minnesota. Well, welcome, Miss Sandy. Janet's here from Lombard, Illinois. It's 42 and cloudy in Texas. 42 sounds lovely. Actually, for us here in North Dakota, 42 would be lovely. We actually have had warmer temperatures recently, and people are already ice fishing. And I said to my husband, can the ice possibly be that thick yet? Because, you know, it has to be several inches thick of ice before you can get on the ice to drill a hole and ice fish. But those diehard fishermen and ladies, they're all out there on certain lakes, not necessarily on our big lake here, but on the little ones. Hey, Robbie in Kentucky. Cynthia says, cool in Florida. I bet you're cool, Miss Cynthia, as is the weather. Right? Hello in Montana, Miss Gina. I love it. Oh, Megan, blessings to you. She said she's recovering from COVID. Blessings to you for good recovery and better health and safety for the season. Oh my goodness. Hi, Katie in Ohio. I love saying hi to all you girls. Hi, Tammy in Gettysburg. It's 40. That's nice. Pine, Colorado, Miss Carrie. Ellen says it's 36. Okay, you guys want to see this? You want to see this? Oh my gosh, it's so exciting. It's so fun, you guys. I mean, really. Really, I'm just a small town girl here in North Dakota with a little creative business, and I have been a brand ambassador for Essential Stencil for a couple of years. I love the reason I started showcasing their products is because I had been buying stencils from here and there, all different places. And once I started using these in comparison to the other ones I were using, this is a no-brainer. If you're going to stencil, buy their stencils because they are the best. They are sturdy, they clean well, they store well, the packaging is beautiful, which helps with storage. Just so many reasons. They're trendy. They come out with new stuff every few weeks. There's new stuff coming out. So it's just a no-brainer. If you're going to be stenciling, go with Essential Stencil. Use my code THECOMFYNEST to get your discount. That's an extra added bonus. If you order more than $45, you get free shipping. There's just so many things. And they are awesome people. They're just awesome. I've been working with them for a couple of years. And when they started the Stencil of the Month Club, I think last year, probably about a year ago. Yes, because I did the December design last year. So it was just new then. So it's really fun that they give the ambassadors an opportunity to work with them to come up with designs for you guys. It's such an honor to do that. So this is what I came up with for you guys this month. And the reason is I wanted it to be really something you could use now, but something you could use all year long. So here's the packaging, and it's so fun and funky to see my face and my name on it. Blows me away. It's like mind-blowing, literally. And then here's what we have for you. I'm going to show you these all, but check it out. It is a modern hexagon wreath. Hexagon? Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 sides is what? Yeah, hexagon, right? Octagon would be 8. This is a 6-sided wreath. Modern, there's 2 layers. And of course, you can keep layering. If you wanted it to be thicker than that or have more parts to it, you could do it once and then lay it down again and do it again. And then it comes with all these words that you can put inside your wreath or use anywhere. I mean, of course, you can separate these and use them in other places. So we have blessed mess. And then here's my quote, try to be a rainbow in someone's cloud, which I think we all need to do. Maya Angelou, she comes out with great, she has said, she's such a beautiful person, right? And she has shared so many good and positive things with all of us. So I love her quotes when I find them. Then it comes with all of these words, and I'm going to show you these here in a minute. Hey, y'all, choose happy, hey there, hello, and so blessed, and then 3 florals. Okay, so I'm going to show you that all, like, take it out of the package and show you we're going to work with it today. We're going to create something pretty. So that's the main stencil of the month. Today, there is a special for you guys. If you are not a member of the club and you want to join, you want to get this set, $1. $1, girlfriends. Sign up, use my code THECOMFYNEST, and you'll get your first month for $1. Okay, you can cancel anytime. So if you get this set and you decide, no, I don't want to do this anymore, I don't want to have, keep on with it, you can cancel anytime, but you can try it for a month. I don't think you'll quit. I don't think you'll quit once you get into the club group page here on Facebook and see how fabulous that group is and the community there and all of the inspiration with everybody sharing their projects with all of the stencils. You're going to be amazed by that. I don't think you'll quit, but you can anytime. $1. Use my code THECOMFYNEST today. I think it's today only, you guys. So don't wait on that if you're on the fence. You're basically getting like $24 off. I think it's $25 a month about. So they're giving you a huge discount. Oh, Trudy, I'm so glad you love them. Who has gotten theirs? Who has gotten there? If you're in the club and you've gotten yours, do you have it yet? Because, postage, it's different. Like some people will get theirs before others just based on where you are in the country and where they get mailed from, that kind of stuff. And have you used it yet? I would love to know. Yay, Sue says she got hers yesterday. All right, I have to check the comments here. I can't keep up with them. I have to check down here. Love the stencil set. Mine arrived yesterday. Love all. I know all of them. All the stencils are awesome. All right, let's see. So this is the main pack. This is what you get for your monthly fee, being in the club. And then there is always an add-on that you can choose to add. You don't have to, but you can choose to add on the add-on. This is the add-on for the month. I'm super excited, you guys. It's wood grain. It's wood grain. Are you kidding me? It's huge. These are 12 by 16 stencils. Look what you can create with this. this backdrop an easy way to do your wood grain. Now, you can create this similar look with paint and paintbrushes, but you're not going to get that level of detail with the knots if you're just trying to do it on your own. See, it has knots built in. There are different types of wood grain. It has the plank lines there so that you can create planks if you want it to look like pallet wood. Wood grain, you guys, again, you can use this all year round. This is not just a Christmas set. This you can use it for Christmas, but you can use it year round. This is what we're going to work with today. Got mine this week and have not used them yet. Love the add-on. Oh, Linda, I'm so glad. I'm so glad. We're going to try to use all of it. Okay, I did practice a little bit. I'm going to get this camera down so you guys can see. I did practice a little bit. Let's see if it gives me such a narrow, I got my wipes here just in case my fingers get dirty. Okay, I started, this is just a wood panel. I buy them in sets of 3. I think, you guys, I do a lot of shopping on Amazon because I live in a rural place. There's no hobby stores. I mean, I have to go 90 miles to get to a hobby store. So I do a lot of my shopping online through Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Amazon, that kind of stuff. And I buy these in sets of 3. They're 12 by 12, which fits perfectly when we look at the stencils. The wreath is made for a 12 by 12. Okay, so you don't have to use a 12 by 12 panel, but that's what I'm using. I've already painted 1 coat of paint on this. It comes in this natural wood finish, and actually I tend to use this plain side, the 12 by 12, because with 12 by 12 scrapbook paper, like I created this a couple of weeks ago with a panel of scrapbook paper. It's the same board, but I just Mod Podged on there a piece of scrapbook paper that I had and loved. That it came in a set that I had, and then I just distressed the edges, darkened them out so it looked like a vintagey look. I love these panels. You can buy them in sets of 3 from your hobby stores or online. You could use this side too and make like a framed project inside here, like design this, paint the outside and have a framed project. You could do double-sided, but today we're going to work on this side. I've already put a coat of Waverly in the color Celery on here, and I think I need to just do another. I think I want to do just one more quick coat. So I'm going to use this on here. Look, I already used it and I have not cleaned it yet. I'm going to use this on here, and I'm just wondering, maybe I don't need a quick coat. So we're going for a vintagey palette, like board kind of look. And you can see my paint coverage isn't great, but here's where my mind goes with this. We could put another coat of paint, but do we need to? Because what we're going to do, that's all going to get covered with this. So maybe we don't need another coat. Maybe it's just going to work out. I'm going to, just for the sake of trying it, we're just going to do it with what we got here. Like a basic coat. I just wanted it green because I'm loving this color right now for my decor in my home. You can see this matches the green, the celery, this paper that I had found. It was in a paper pack from Michael's. And last night, no, it's today, Thursday. So on Tuesday night when I did my late night live on my business page, The Comfy Nest with Grace, I created this, and I used the celery on the background, and I used stamps, and I did stamps like brick on the background. On this one, we're going to go with the same colors so that I have coordinated decor. I'm going to use the celery green, and I'm going to use a very light gray for the wood grain. So that's my plan, and that's why I'm doing it that way. I think I'm going to put the celery green away because I'm just going to go with the one coat that I have. I pulled out a couple of grays, and I want the gray to be very muted because then on top of that, we're going to stencil the wreath and some florals and a word. So lots of layers here, but because there's stuff going on top of this background, I want the background to be very soft and muted, like I did here. See, the brick is there and you can totally see it when you're looking at the project, but it's not, I always say it's not the star of the show. We don't want this background. If I had done the background, these brick in like black, it would totally compete with my letters. And I don't want that. I want it to just complement, not take over. Okay? So I'm just going to go really light gray on here so that you can still see it. Thank you for sharing, Miss Christine. I appreciate you. Hi in Midwestern Illinois, Miss Jolene. Good morning in Texas, Julie. I love this color too. That Waverly color celery is just beautiful. The sheep was so much fun. Carolyn, I'm glad that you were there for that. I'm glad that I just am loving this color scheme. So I don't know. I picked 2 grays out of my set, and they're both kind of lighter grays. So I'm not sure. I may combine and use both of them. Hi, Gannon.
Lunch break hug.
Oh, look. Can you say? All right. No. Come here. He's going to give me a hug, you guys. This is my Gannon. He's my 13-year-old, my 8th grader. Came up from school, from virtual school. He came up to say hi. Thanks for coming to say hi, buddy. He's my hugger. Cannon's my hugger. He came in to give me a hug during his lunch break. And he knows that I'm live. He used to like, to pop his face in and say hello. No more. He's over that, man. He's not interested in having his face seen on camera anymore. Okay, I have to grab some tin foil for my paint palette. I'm out of plates. I was trying to use up the plates that I had on hand, and I finally got rid of them all. I know it's loud, but bear with me, girls. I use just a sheet of tin foil, and I fold it, and this is what I use for my paints. So I need a little bit of paint. I'm just going to grab 2 of these, and I actually grabbed my white because maybe I'll use some white too. I just am not sure yet, girls. So let's start with the 2 grays and see what it looks like. Hello, Donna in Pittsburgh. All right, they are very, very close to each other, these 2 grays. The color just basically looks the same. Hold on, I wanted a darker gray in here so that I could combine the 2. So let me grab, I have another gray here. It's actually called blue, light French blue. To me, that looks gray. I don't care about the name of it. Oh, I should have shaken it. I don't care about the name of it. I'm going for the look, okay? So I've got a couple of different grays here. Let me grab a stencil brush. Of course, I use the Essential Stencil brushes because they're fabulous. I'm going to use a big one because I have a lot of space to cover here. And I'm going to pick up some paint on my brush. I don't care. I'm mixing the colors, the different grays. That is too much on your brush. You want to come and offload most of it and really work it into your brush, okay? Now, is there a right or wrong way to use this? You know me, I always say there's no right or wrong. It's just do what you like to do. Come up with your own plan for how you want to accomplish the look that you're going for. And don't worry about it. There's no right or wrong. There's just having fun with your stencils. Now, there's a line on this, and the reason the line is there so that if you want to go for that plank, connected plank look, you have the lines in between your planks, right? Because if you think about it, palette boards or, let me see if I have do I have anything around that looks like that? I really don't. I'm trying to think if I have anything in my room here. The line is going to help you create the look of the palettes. So you have this really wide one you can use, and you have skinny boards. I'm going to maybe mix the 2, and I don't need this on the edge. That really, the intent I had for that was that would be in the middle like this, so that line shows in the middle of the project. Now, I'm going to turn this board because of the way the stencil is sitting when I'm using it. And I'm going to come up in here like this, okay? So that I have that line in the middle. I want it doesn't even necessarily need to be right in the middle. I can move it over a little. I like getting these knots in the project, so trying to visualize how that's going to look underneath. Oh, Denise, I'm so glad you joined. Good for you. Okay, I will either use little circles, or I'll go, because the grain of the wood, the stencil is going this way, I'll run my paintbrush that way too. This, I want to get a little bit of this done and then hinge it back and look at it because I want to make sure that we can see the color. You can stipple, meaning pounce it up and down. You can run it back and forth. You can go in little circles, doesn't matter. Find the way that you like. Here's the thing, Just make sure you don't have a lot of paint on your brush with any of those methods because you want to avoid bleed through. Okay, let's take a look at I want to see what the colors look like together. That's my like curiosity factor, is how is this color looking on here? It almost looks silver. It almost looks silver. I think I want it a little darker, you guys. I want it to show up a little more. So I'm going to pull from this dark part, like the dark color, and I'm going to go over that a little bit with the darker color. So this is the play part. This is when you get to play and experiment and just see, like, what am I trying to accomplish? And how can I achieve the look that I'm going for? So before I go any further, before I do the whole thing in one color, I'm just sampling this one little section with the colors that I picked, the grays. And if I don't like it, I'll go grab another color and we'll work something else in here. But let's see if this, just using that dark color, is better. Yes, I like the dark color better. So now I know I'm not going to use the lighter colors. I'm going to go with the dark ones. And actually, if you wanted to, you could grab another. I like to have two, when, you know, we're talking about wood, which is natural. It's not manufactured, right? So we're trying to create the look of a wood plank. And in nature, generally, there are variations in color in a wood plank. So that's why I try to use a couple of different colors. Let me grab, here's another gray that's a little darker. I try to use a couple of variations so that it's not so one-dimensional. Okay, and I don't want a lot of that that darker color. I don't want a lot of it because, again, I don't want it to take away from what I'm going to be doing on top. So I'm just going to use a little bit of that here and there. See, I'm just kind of adding it on top of what I already did, just in some places, not everywhere. I like it. I like it. You wouldn't think to use gray. I like using the grays. You could use brown for wood grain, totally. You can use white. You can use whatever color you want, girlfriend. Guys say you do you. I don't ever want you guys to feel like you have to, there are no rules. You don't have to like stick to whatever we do as ambassadors. Copy exactly if you want. I always say you can totally copy exactly what I do. I'm honored by that. Or you can create a variation for yourself that you like. Oh my gosh, Megan, yeah. She says, I like how you're using different paint brands. It gives me the inspiration to let me know that's okay. Oh my Lord. I just pick by color and what's on sale, usually when I'm shopping. That's what I do. I go and look at the colors and I say, which colors do I like the most? Apple Barrel is my least favorite paint to stencil with because it's so thin. It's very loose paint. Look at that, guys. I'm going to show you. Hold on. It's very loose. And it's really challenging to stencil with. There's my first plank, and it's big and wide, which I love. I'm going to flip this. No, you know what I'll do? So I have my line right here that's creating so there's a separation between that plank and now here's a new plank. So you could like overlap this, or if you want to get a knot in here, like just grab the place where the knot is on your stencil and lay it down and continue on with your stenciling. Just make sure with planks, it is kind of important, make sure you're straight. And you can see right through the stencil here, and I can see that my overlap of the stencil is about 1 inch all the way down. So you want to make sure that that's straight. That's how you can tell, gauge that your stencil is straight. Okay, I don't tape. This would be hard to tape. You could tape over here to keep this in place, but I'm a lazy crafter, girls. That's not me. I don't do that because I'm kind of lazy. So I just hold it with my hand and just go right in. I'm too excited. I don't want to wait for no tape. If I don't have to, I'm not doing it. You can't make me. And I always say, it's your craft room, girls. You do you. You do what makes your little heart happy. I'll let a lot of people tape. I know it's actually, if you're a newbie, it is a lot easier if you tape it. Like, it's going to give you more confidence and fewer mistakes, especially if you're new at it. But I've been doing this for a very long time, so I don't, and I'm lazy, so I don't tape anything off. I just jump right in. I always hinge before I pull it off completely. I hinge it back and look and see, did I get coverage? I missed this whole section right here. So I hold it strongly with one hand and I hinge it back with the other. I look and say, okay, I missed this whole section. And there's not a lot here, actually. It's a stencil. Just a couple of little lines, but it'll make it more complete. See what we got going here? Now, I can mix and match. So I have a couple of different paint colors. You would not, from far away, you're not going to be noticing the couple of different paint colors. Gosh, I hope this isn't too dark for this project. We'll see. We shall see. I'm going to line up. I'm going to go with well, if I did the thick plank, I'm still going to have to do a third row, so it doesn't matter because this is wide enough that I'm going to need to do one plank and then another one. So I'm going to come in with one of these thinner ones right here. Like this project is a Mod Podge of plank sizes. That this board is made out of a Mod Podge of plank sizes. So I'm coming in. I still have paint on my brush. I'm working up a sweat, you guys. All right, here we go. Need more paint. Coming into my tin foil, grabbing more, working it into my brush. Oh my gosh, I hope you guys like this. I'm so in love with it. Listen, I debated. I didn't really want, to be truthful with you, on the background of this wreath that I'm going to do for this board, I actually didn't even want the planks in the back. If I weren't showcasing, I wouldn't have put them on. But I wanted to showcase how the planks are working out, like how you could use them, because it would be, you know, especially if you're new, you might have a hard time envisioning how this is going to look on a board. So I wanted to showcase that, but I don't know that I'm going to like the wreath on top of it. I guess we're just going to have to see. This is the experiment part. I like that a lot, you guys. So listen, it stops here. Like this edge is very, there's not a lot of detail right here. So it looks like it stops. So I'm just going to come in and lay down the stencil a little bit over this. And I'm going to add a little bit more of those plank lines over here. I just want to make sure I'm straight. That's what I'm looking to do right now. And I'm just going to grab a little more paint. Work it into my brush, and I'm just going to add a little bit more over here. And because I went with different colors and I want this stuff to all be coordinated, I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to lay this back down where I originally had it, and I'm just going to take a little bit of those lighter colors that I just put on my brush and work them into parts of this that I already did. There. All right, it's very light over here, but that's okay because I'm going to go really dark underneath it. I'm going to go with this again. So it's going to get darker down here again with these. I could use this one. This is a totally new. Now I'll stick with what we already have, which is this. I used this wide panel and then I used this panel. I'm going to go back to this wide panel and do the bottom part with that. And I can actually overlap this a little so I get both knots in because there's so little design over here. I can just overlap those like that. Now here, this is hanging off the table, so it's going to add pressure for me in terms of holding this in place. So I'm going to turn the board so that the stencil is laying on the table, so it's not getting pulled on by the gravity hanging off the edge of the table. All right, I smudged it. I moved it a little bit. I want to make sure it's straight again, that my lines are straight. So I'm gauging. What I'm looking at is what's hanging off the edge here. I'm basically eyeballing it, but basically what I'm doing is making sure that what hangs off the edge there, it's at 3.5 inches of stencil hanging off the edge there. You want to make sure that down here you have 3.5 inches of stencil hanging off down here. It looks like I'm a little bit off. I'm going to pull this down a little. That I just eyeball it. I don't take a ruler. I just, again, lazy girl here. I just usually eyeball it, and I don't get too worked up if things aren't perfectly straight. I let go of that perfectionism. It makes life so much more enjoyable, your creative life, if you let go of that perfectionism. I promise you, people are not looking at your planks, and if you're off by a 1/16 of an inch, they just aren't. They're looking at the whole project as a whole. They're not looking to see if you measured incorrectly. I promise you. All right, coming in. I'm going to hinge it. So I want to see what I got going on here. It's a totally different color. So I have like the darker gray is warmer, and then the other gray is, it almost looks like a silver, you guys. So I got two different things going on. You guys, I need to like open a window or something because I am sweltering. That's what we got so far. It's kind of fun. I might come in. Well, let's finish it. I'm going to add one of these lines. I'm going to put one here. So again, on my big one, here's my line that creates those planks in between that show here's one plank ends and one begins. So I'm going to use that. I got to turn my project so that it's not laying off the edge of the table. I got to go turn on a fan or something. I'm going to do this section, you guys, and I'm going to disappear for a second. I got to go turn on a fan, and I may even put my hair up. I don't know what's going on, if my kids turn the heat up or Mama's having like a night sweat during the day. I don't know what's going on, girlfriends. Need more paint. But I do. I'm going to go. I can't even drink my coffee. I'm just too hot. So who's creating today? Who's creating and crafting? And are you doing, I wonder, how many people are making handmade gifts this year? Are you making gifts for people that are handmade by you, or are you buying gifts? What's your holiday gift giving plan? This is what we have so far. I love these lines. I love them. I love them. It's really dark up in this corner here, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Let me go turn the dang fan on. Yeah, so Tiana, she said, I need this too. I love, love, love this. Go join the club. Go to stencilofthemonthclub.com. Use my code, THECOMFYNEST, and you will get $1. Your first month will cost you $1. You'll get these sets of stencils. I'm so glad you guys are learning. Let me go turn the fan on, you guys. Seriously, I'm gonna melt in front of you. I'm going to crack this window open too, because good gravy, it's probably 20 degrees out. That'll cool me off really fast here. Hold on, cracking the window open. We have no screens on the window, so hopefully nothing crawls its way in here. Okay, I'm sorry about that. I'm so hot. Oh, Donna says, I helped my 5-year-old grandson make a present for his other grandmother. You're so sweet. You have to go, somebody's asking, what is this stencil called? Dominica, you have to go and join the club. Go to stencilofthemonthclub.com. When you check out, you're paying $1 for your first month. And this is this, you'll get, hold on, let me show you. When you sign up, you're getting this set of stencils for the month. And then if you want to add on, you can add on the wood grain. So that's another option that you can add. But for the $1, you get the main set of stencils. So that's how that works. And that's just today, you guys. This coupon is for today. So use my code, THECOMFYNEST, to get your $1 for your first month. Okay. Different colors going on here. And this is very dark. I actually would prefer this to be a little less bold. Because again, like I said, I like my background to be subtle and discreet and in the back. Now, my plan is to do the wreath on top of this. And then, oh, a piece of my hair. And then I am going to use one of the florals. I'm really having a hard time deciding because they're all so beautiful. They're all so beautiful, you guys. I love, I'm going to get the backing for this so you can see what I'm talking about. I absolutely love how whimsical this greenery is. And then it's combined with some berries. I love this one. I love it. I love this one because I think you got some traditional rose shapes here. And then this one is really open. So you get the top view of this one really open with these gorgeous petal shapes. And then the third one, this actually reminds me of a poinsettia, if that's how you say the name of that plant. This floral reminds me of a poinsettia. So I think we could use this and make this wreath look more Christmassy by using the reds and the greens with this. Now, I'm not going to do that today because that's not going to really match what I have going on here. But I love them all equally. They're just beautiful. And you guys, you could use, these ones are shaped like the top of a wreath, bottom of the wreath. So you could, in another project, you could shape out, like use this as to frame some words. Like if you were making, for example, a wedding gift for somebody, and you could say John and Mary, October 22nd, 2021, like they got married that day. And then you could frame it out with any of these florals. It just would be so beautiful. I'm just in love with these sets. But first we have to get this on here. And this part is really bold. So when I think about what's going to be to the top, what's going to be toward the bottom, I'm going to think in terms of, I kind of want to cover up the boldness. I don't want the boldness to compete with everything. So wherever I put my florals, like if I put this floral on top of that boldness and I cover a lot of it with a floral, it's gonna tone down how bold that is, if you know what I mean. Okay, so when you have your, like I have my base done, this turned out more bold than I like. So I'm going to put my floral here so that I can try to cover that up a little bit with the floral. First, we need to get our wreath on here. And all right, I have the light green and I have gray on top of it. I think I'm gonna do the wreath. You guys tell me, what color would you paint the wreath? See how thin it is? What color would you paint it? I'm asking your opinions. So you guys tell me what you're, oh my gosh, I'm missing lots of comments. Yeah, stencil wreath. So you can, I'm so excited about this. This geometric shape is really popular right now in design, especially in graphic design. So that can be a really modern wreath, and then overlay the florals to soften it and to make it really more decorative, okay? You don't have to, but that's the idea, is that we're gonna overlay the florals to add more design to it. I could totally do that. Sonia says, why don't you, could you sand this part? You could totally sand it. You're gonna take off a little of the paint, but the not fear, but just be aware, if you sand really hard, it's gonna come down. I have a very thin coat of celery green here. In fact, you can see the wood grain underneath there peeking through. So if I sand too strongly, I'll go all the way down to the raw wood. So sure, you could totally sand, but I tend to like want to stick with using my paints. But I like the idea. This is why I ask you guys, what do you think I should do? See, I'm coming down to the wood here. And I don't want that. I don't want that other wood to be showing. That's not my goal. But I sanded it down a little bit. You totally can do that. Light tan or brown, Carolyn says, for the wreath. Black, teal. Ooh, darker teal. That's an interesting idea. Black or dark brown, like a burnt umber. Ooh, Dina, that's a good suggestion. I would do one layer in dark green and another in light green. Oh, there you go. Flip-flop furnishings. Kimberly and Renee. I don't know who that is that said that. One of you. Good idea. Brown like twigs. I like the brown idea. I also like the burnt umber. Like that's more of a reddish brown. A grayed brown, Lisa says. Dark green, black or brown. Mary said, and Tina said. Dre says, if you want to do it Christmas, you could do red. That's true. Beige, Jane says, question mark. So the thing is, it has to be a color that's going to show up well. You have to think of the contrast, that what I have going on in the background, whatever I put on top, because it's a really thin line, it's going to have to be a big contrast to show up well, and so that all of the wood grain lines aren't taking away from the wreath line. So I feel like it has to be really dark color, like black or brown. Taking another sip of coffee. So let me grab here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna grab both. I got my black and I got some brown here. We're gonna grab both. I'm gonna do, first I'll do a little bit in brown. I'm gonna do a little bit in black. You guys tell me which you like better. Ooh, because we can do that. I took way too much paint right there, but that's all good. It's fine. Thankfully, these paints aren't that expensive. I'm gonna take a little bit of each of these and put them aside. We're gonna put this on and then we'll take a vote. Who likes the black, who likes the brown more? I think it has to be one of these colors because I'm trying to, you guys can't see me, I'm kind of off camera. I'm trying to wash off the paint off my big brush. You know what I'll do? I'll just grab a new brush. I'll take your vote. I wanna know which do you think is the better option, the black or the brown. So get ready to vote. Get your fingers ready. I'm gonna show you both. And I'm just gonna cover it up. I'm gonna do it and then I'm gonna cover it up with whichever one we choose as the right option. Now listen, all right, you could position this strictly right in the middle of this board, or the other option you have, once you've decided which floral you want, like if I wanna use this floral, actually I do really like that floral, and I wanted to use it in this corner, and this is going to be, I don't know, I haven't decided if that's going to be the top or the bottom yet, but if you wanted to, you could position your wreath just a little bit off center so that you have more room up here for your floral, and design wise your eye is going to make up for that, so don't worry about that. Still centered this way, but horizontally, I'm going to put it down a little bit lower so that I have room for my floral up here, if that makes any sense. Because the stencil is a 12-inch stencil and my board is a 12-inch board, it makes it really easy to just line these up perfectly, okay? I'm going to do a little bit of black, a little bit of brown. I'm going to do it underneath where I'm putting the florals so that I'm able to cover it up well, easily. So let's do part of this line in black. Okay, and then I'm gonna grab some brown. I love these experiments, you guys, and I love sharing them with you guys. I love it, I love it. So let's grab a little bit of brown now. Prep your brush, add paint, move the paint into this paintbrush. You want it to get up into your bristles. I'm gonna do a little bit of brown. You guys tell me which you like more, okay? Did a little bit of black, a little bit of brown. I'm gonna hinge this and hope that you can see it. Do you like black or do you like brown better? I think I like the black better, you guys. I think it's the black. I think the black wins. But you tell me, I'm asking your opinion. Do you like the black or do you like the brown better? I like the black. Okay, I'm gonna tell you. I want to know your opinion, but I'm going to go with black because that's what I like. A lot of times, especially on my page, The Comfy Nest with Grace, I would be honored if you'd come over and follow. I go live every Tuesday night for late night crafting and then sometimes other places during the week. But I always ask my followers, like I always ask you guys as friends, what would you do? Think of us like if we were at a craft retreat, I would holler over at the next table and say, hey, come look at this and tell me, would you do black or would you do brown? And I want to constantly remind you there's no right or wrong answer. It's just your preference. It's just your preference. I tell you techniques and tips about color choices and contrasts so that you have good success and you're happy with your projects. But I want you to take that information and put it in your tool belt and pull it out when you need it to remember, okay, what did Grace say about contrast for the background versus what's going on top of it? Still your choice. You totally do you. Okay, let's see. What is everybody saying, black or brown? I'm seeing lots of black. Yeah, I don't think the brown works either. Do all black and then layer brown in a few areas. I may use the brown when I do the floral. We'll see. I think I like this in black, so I'm gonna go right over, I better work that in my brush a little bit more. I'm gonna go right over that brown with my black, and I'm actually gonna do a really scratchy finish to start. I don't want like a super solid black line, so I'm going with really scratchy kind of dry brush to start, because I can always add another layer. I'm gonna do one really soft, dry brushed, scratchy coat, and then I'm gonna hinge it back, see if I like it, and then if I want, I'll come back in with more. you see what I'm doing? I'm just not going super dark with this paint. I want it to give the shape of I want the shape of the wreath to be there, but I don't need it to be jet black. So instead of going with the dark gray, I'm using the black and I'm just doing a really inconsistent coat of paint here. So it's going to be a little darker in some areas, a little lighter in others. Remember, you can always go back and add more, but if you put a really super dark coat and then you don't like it, you can't take it off. I suppose you could try again to sand it, but I prefer to just go really light to start and then come back and add more if needed. All right, let's hinge this back and see what the black looks like on top of what we have going on already. That's really pretty, you guys. I think right up in here, if you look, see where I'm pointing? There's a dark knot. It's gray, but there's a knot of gray there that's bold, and it's competing a little bit with that line of my my wreath. And because of that, I am going to go a little darker with my black on this section. I'm going to add another bit of black in here so that my wreath in that section shows up a little better, because it's competing a little bit with that dark bold knot back there. I'm going to hold this really close to the screen in a second so you can see how I did this a little bit scratchy, but I think I like it. I'm going to hinge it back one more time. Oh, I love it. Okay, let me show you what that looks like. I'm trying to show you the lines so you can see it's not all like super dark in every part. Like the wood, I wanted it to be a little scratchy and stuff. Now listen, I love the idea of coming in and turning this a section. Should we do it? Should I turn it one section? I really love this idea of doing this, you guys. Do you want to see me try this, experiment with this? So what I'm looking at, I turned it one full section. So see this straight line right here? If I line it up exactly, that's where the first coat is. I took this whole section and I turned it, and I'm evenly distributing it with this point on the wreath. So I'm taking this section, I'm turning it counterclockwise and going with this point. I'm going to separate those evenly. In my mind, that's what I'm doing. You could go the other way too. It doesn't matter one way or the other, but you're going to take this length of wreath, turn it one section over and center it on these points. Okay. It's going to give you another layer of wreath. That's my hope. I just want to make sure that you want to still make sure that all of the points are going to be seen. You guys, I've never done this before. I am experimenting on a live broadcast. So just give me a little blessing that this works out. I think I'm going to like it. I think it's going to make the wreath more. It's going to make it bigger. You can keep it super simple. But I want to see what this looks like. Sonia just said, yes, let's see what that's going to look like. Yes, let's just see. It can't hurt, right? It's just paint, girls. You can always paint over it again. Here's what I'm going to do. Again, this section where I'm going to put the floral that's going to get covered up with more paint, I'm going to come in that section. I got to move some stuff over because I'm just running out of room. I'm going to put a little bit of it here and hinge it back and see if I like it. I think I'm going to like it. I hope you like it. But it's an experiment. I've never done this before. I should have practiced ahead of time, but I didn't have time to do that. So here I am experimenting while online with you. I hope you don't mind. I hope I hope you quite enjoy the experiment. Okay. Let's see how it's going to look. All right, let's just do a little bit right here. I don't know how this is going to work. I'm a little nervous, to be honest with you, but It's like not a bad nervous, it's like a nervous excitement. Like, let's check this out. Let's experiment together. Let's figure it out together. This is the fun of crafting and creating. The experimenting, the trying different things, letting go of what you think the outcome should be and just enjoying the fun of the process of it. Okay, that's what I'm all about. So if you like that idea, come follow me at the Comfy Nest with Grace. Oh, you guys, it's going to be more complicated, but it's going to be super cool. So you could go one layer and keep it really simple, or go ahead. I just wanted to show you, I wanted to encourage you to just feel the the creative is freedom. The creative freedom, not financial freedom, the creative freedom to just play and try different things. Know that you can keep it really simple and do one set of lines, or you can really go wild with it and do more. You could do different colors. You wouldn't have to do each layer black. If you wanted to do black and white, that would be really modern and cool. Just depends on the project that you're working on, the look that you're going for. I hope you guys are okay with me experimenting with you. Cindy says she likes it. Hi Janice, welcome. It's okay to be here late. It's okay. Christina likes it. Donna likes it. Yay. Oh, Angie, just message them at support@essentialstencil.com. If you signed up for $1, you can sign up for this month, today only, for $1. Use my code, THECOMFYNEST, and you'll get $1. Your first month subscription getting this set of stencils is going to be $1. You can add on the wood grain. It's an optional add-on. You don't have to, but you could. If you think you used the wrong email, just email them at support@essentialstencil.com and explain what happened. They'll help you. They're awesome. They are super helpful. Need more paint. Oh, that went really dark. Did not intend that. All right, I'm going to hinge it back before I pull it off completely. I always do that because it's just easier. If there's something missing, I can go back in easily and repaint. You guys, I like it. I like it a lot. I wonder what you think of it. Can you tell me what you think of this? And you know what it actually makes me think of? It makes me think of a little bit the crown that Jesus had on his head. Like, I say that only because it kind of makes me think of that. But I love it. I love how all I did was I took that section and I evenly placed it between these 2 points. That's what I tried to do anyway. And I like it. Now still, we're going to do an overlay of florals on here. And you can, right here, it's really obvious that the wreath is closer to the bottom than it is to the top. But I did that on purpose because I want to leave room for my floral. I'm just going to do one floral and then the words on here. I'd love to know what you think. I love it too. I think it's fantastic. Who said I love it? Peggy said love it. Oh, Carolyn too. It's like a spirograph design. Yes, that's true. Oh, I think it's really cool. And listen, you can, let's get this camera down again. Another thing I'll point out to you, these florals, you could, this 12 by 12 board is a little tight for this. If you had a bigger board, say it was 14 by 14 or whatever, you could do one floral on the top and then take that same floral and put one floral on the bottom, and you have a little bit of the modern frame sticking out plus the florals. Whoops, I dropped it. All right, let's decide. I'm going to use the most bold floral, and again, I left this extra space here so I would have room for the floral here. That was just my choice. I didn't have to do that. When I tested it out earlier, if the frame was centered exactly, the floral would come off the board a little bit, and I wanted more of the floral to be showing. So by moving the frame, the wreath down a little bit, it's giving me more room to show more of the floral, if that makes any sense. I'm going to use this really bold one right here because I have a lot going on. Uh-oh, I got the corner of my stencil into my paint palette. Let me dry that off before I get black paint everywhere. So now colors for florals. I don't want them, I have a lot going on here. Like I said to you, when I was going to do this originally, I was not going to use the wood grain because I I feel like there's a lot going on. It's really busy for the eye. But I wanted you to see the wood grain. I wanted you to see how that works. And my point today was to demonstrate for you this whole set. So I went ahead and did that there. I think I'm not going to go, if you look at my ruler, I'm not going to put the floral like dead center here. I'm going to move it a little bit that way. So this would be dead center, right on the center. I'm going to move it a little bit this way because we still have to put words in here. And I want to leave room for the words. So I'm going to go like a little bit off-centered. But I see I'm going to lose a little bit of this still. I'm going to turn it to try to get as much of that in as possible, but I'm going to lose just a little bit here. It's okay. Now I need to choose colors for this. And again, I don't like introducing a ton of new colors because there's just a lot going on with the wood grain on here. So I've got to think through this. If anybody has suggestions for colors for the florals, let me know. I really want to try stencils. I'm a bit nervous to start. Oh, Lori, don't be nervous, sweetheart. Do not be nervous. Please, please don't be nervous. It's all about having fun. This isn't, you're not going to get judged. There's no prizes to win. Your salary isn't counting on how well you stencil. Like if you think of it in those terms, like it's a hobby and it's for fun. Don't ever be nervous. Just get your stuff out and play. And I do say a lot of times if you're brand new, to practice on cardboard. There's a lot of cardboard boxes coming in and out for holiday season. So grab some cardboard, open it up, lay it out, and practice on cardboard just to see how it all works and get a feel for it. Hey! Yay, thank you. Chris says, I joined. I used the code. I can't wait to get these. Woohoo! Yay! Guys, for $1, go join today. This is for new Stencil of the Club members. This is to give you the opportunity for $1 to try this out. Joining really late. Donna, that's totally fine. Okay, so what color should I do the florals? What color? Oh, thanks, Tina. Red for a flower, barn red. I'm bringing it. I have a color called lipstick red that I've been using a lot lately. I'm going to go get it. We're going to do the flower in red. I like that suggestion. It's going to really pop. And then I think I will do the florals in a muted green. In fact, I may take the celery green and add some brown or black to it to keep the same tone. All right, here we go. Here's our red. Do I need a new brush? I'm going to take a piece of scrap paper and just try to get some of this paint off of here and maybe use the same brush. See how much paint is still left in this brush? Look how much paint is still there. This is why you can offload, offload, offload. Get as much paint off of here before you go into your stencil. If you're dealing with bleed through, you have too much paint on your brush. Look at this. This is just a napkin that I'm using. Still getting paint. I'm still getting paint. Do you see why we tell you to offload? These brushes hold your paint beautifully. You do not need a lot of paint to stencil. I'm going to still use this because I'm lazy. It's going to be like a dark red, actually, if I do this. I'm trying to grab some more of that red and work it into the bristles. So it mixes with the residual black that's left in my brush. It's creating a new color. And now I'm going to offload. I'm still getting black. We're going to go with it anyway. We're going to go with it. Offload, offload, offload. It's really important when you're stenciling. You could tape off with painter's tape. You could tape off your greenery if you don't want your greenery to turn red, right? All of these like leaves that are here, if you just want the floral to be red, you can grab some painter's tape and just rip it into little pieces to cover up the stems on your greenery, because I don't want those to be red. I just want the flower to be red. So I'm just taking tiny little pieces of tape and taping off the stems of my greenery because I don't want them red. And I just want to make it easier for me to stencil without having to worry about hitting those parts. I have a ton of paint on my brush because I can tell because the paint is coming off very easily. I'm not having to work really hard to get it off the brush. I'm going to hinge this back. I know this is, it's a layering process, so it's not like just put a coat of paint on and be done, but that's the whole fun of it. It's the creative part of figuring out colors and placement and maneuvering your stencils so that they do exactly what you want them to do. That's all the fun of it. So enjoy that. Don't get nervous about it. I would encourage you. I understand the nervousness. That's why I say do it on cardboard to start. That way you're not feeling like, oh, I don't want to ruin that brand new board I bought. Do it on cardboard, test it out, and then you can go into your project feeling more confident. Okay, I'm hinging because I just want to see how that floral turned out. It's really pretty. But it feels like it's because I don't have my greenery. It feels like it's just, it needs more. I know what it is. I taped off part of my floral by accident. There's a part missing, one petal. I missed one petal. It's because I taped it off by accident. So I'm going to move my painter's tape so that I just tape off the greenery. I'm missing this one petal. That's why it feels like it needs more. There was something missing. Yep, I was missing one whole petal. There we go. And listen, this, I will show you this maybe later. I hope I remember. The inside floral is completely red. The petals are completely red. And then you have an outline of these ones. You could totally go in and paint those red too to give more bold red on here. Right now, though, I'm going to tape this down because I don't want to bump it and get it out of place. I am going to tape it. Oh, I just bumped it. Shoot. Stinkers. All right, get it in place, tape it down. I need to clean my brush or get a new one because I'm going to go into the greenery and I'm going to do it all one color. I'm not going to go with 3 different colors of greenery because there's just a lot going on this project. I've got the grays, I've got the black, I've got the green on the background, and now I'm adding another green for this, all of the sprigs of greenery. So I'm just going to keep it as simple as possible and do one color. I just got to pick a color now. I don't want it to be too bright. And a Christmas green might be just the color we need. And that's going to make this floral feel really Christmassy. I'm going to put a little of this on and see. I thought maybe I should use the celery and mix in some of the browns. But I'm rethinking that plan. Here's my brown that I used earlier. Grab a piece of paper from the garbage and see, am I going to be able to use this one? It still has some brown in it. That will be okay with the green. That's not going to muck anything up. I'm going to try to offload as much as I can so I don't have to wash this in between. You want to avoid loose paint. You want to avoid water on your brushes if you can. If you wash them in between colors, really make sure you're drying them because that's how you get bleed through when you have loose paints or water mixed in, okay? You want your paints to be really thicker. Formulas are better, so if you have paints that are thicker, the Americana is great, folk art's great, deco art's great. The apple barrel is really tough to work with because it's very thin. Okay, I'm doing all of it the same color. I'm going to test this out and hinge it back and see what I think. Because I can always come in over that with another green if I don't like this one. But I'm just going to put a section. Yeah, I like it. I like it. I like it. That'll work just fine. And I think on this one, I'm going to have to do 2 coats. Because I have the black wreath behind it and all of the gray wood grain. So on this, I think I'm going to end up coming in and giving 2 coats of green so that it really shows up well. I'm not taping off. I've got my red down already. So I'm just getting as close as I can to the florals without trying to hit them. But the red is deep enough that I think it could handle it if it got swiped with a little green. So I'm not worried about that. So the color combinations is what's a challenge. I think that's a challenge and just something to put a little thought into. And I hope that I'm showing you today that you can put a little bit down, hinge it back, look at the colors together. And if you don't like it, put your stencil back down, let that dry, go pick another color and just stencil right over it. Just paint right over it with the color you know, if you feel like, oh, that one's too light, I'm going to go with a darker green, then just go get your darker green or mix it to create your darker green. And then you can go back in and go right over what you just tested. Okay, it's not set in stone. You're not stuck. It's not a contract. You're not going to get injured if you pick the wrong color. Like, just no worries. Enjoy the process. I'm having trouble getting really in this little corner right here with this brush. I'm going to grab, sometimes what I'll do is just grab, I like stiff bristled brush. I do have this. This is not an essential stencil brush, but it's a brush I've had on hand for a long time, and it's really little. So it helps me get into tighter areas. So I'm just going to dab on in these, oh, I just hit my floral a little bit. I'm going to dab on in these tight areas right next to the floral with this tiny little brush. And I'm going to need 2 coats. I'm going to show you what it looks like now. We'll hinge it back and look. But I think I'm going to need 2 coats to really make it bold. Yep, see how it's competing with my, a little bit with the wreath behind it. So it's going to show up beautifully. I'm not worried about it not showing up. I'm going to put another coat on though to really help it along. So this is already dry. I'm coming in and I'm making another coat. Was just going to give it, it's going to darken this green up some more. Let me check comments. I look forward to every month, but my stencil, it's like getting a gift every month. It is a gift. Marlene, it is. It's a gift of inspiration, especially being in the group and seeing how all the other ladies in the group are using their set of stencils. Oh boy, did not offload. That is part of what I think the gift of being in this group. The membership is about more than just getting a set of stencils. It's about being part of the club. And that means having access to the brand ambassadors in the group, having access to all the other members in the group, sharing your projects, pictures of your projects so you can inspire each other. You can get your questions answered. You can say, hey, I ran into a roadblock. This didn't turn out the way I wanted it. How would you deal with it? Yes, Marlena, I totally agree with you. And I know you're just going to love it. Yay, sign up for $1 today using my code THECOMFYNEST. Do it, do it. Essential Stencils Club of the Month. The website is Stencil of the Month. You guys, Stencil of the Month Club.com. I had to look and make sure I get it right because I was overthinking it. All right, another coat. Coming in with my little brush, making sure I hit those areas closest to the florals. Trying not to hit the florals. There. They're a tiny little round, they look like berries, and you could totally paint them red. I just kept them all green for the sake of time. All right. I'm going to hold this up really close to you, and then I'm going to show you what I meant about the red floral. Let me get this off here because I don't need this stencil anymore. Look at how beautiful that is. I wanted a second coat so that this dark green can hang with the tough one, which is the black. It can hang. It's not getting lost in sitting on top of the black. It's not getting lost. It's the same dark tone as the black. It's just green. Okay. Here's what I was talking about with this floral. Here, these are all red, bold, deep red, and these are outlined red. Okay. If I was doing this on a plain green background without the wood grain, I would not do this, but I'm going to go in with a regular paintbrush in that red, and I'm going to fill in all of those florals so that my red flower shows in, like, the whole thing is going to show better. So you have the option to come in and paint these. I just got to grab an appropriate paintbrush. I'm looking for a good one. Just hang tight. That's not something I could have known I was going to do. I just made the decision. I want these petals to show up more, and I want that deep red there. So I'm going to come in with my red, tiny little paintbrush, and we're just going to fill these in. And actually, I had black on my brush. Do you remember when I used my stencil brush, I had black paint already on the stencil brush. I'm going to show you the difference in color because it's totally different than the lipstick red coming straight out of the bottle. That doesn't bother me in the least. I'm going to do these with lipstick red. The other ones have a little bit of black in them. In nature, things are not generally perfect in terms of color. Did you see the difference in the two reds? This is right out of the bottle. This one is when I used the brush that had the black already on the bristles. So you can see there's a difference in color. This is going to be cool though. I kind of like it. So I'm just going to fill in these petals with the lipstick red. This shouldn't take very long. And then we're going to put a word on there. You guys tell me, which word choice would you make for this stencil project? Should I put so blessed? Should I put hello? Is it hi y'all or hello y'all? I'll show them to you here in a second. And you can vote while I'm painting these florals in. Which words would you put in the center of this? Pick one that you like and vote for it. Here we have these choices. And we have this. So you tell me which do you vote for? I'm going to put something on this in this stencil. And you don't have to use those words. If you have other sets of stencils and a different phrase, or if you have the, if you have the alphabet sets, you could put your family name in there. You wouldn't have to use the words that came with this set, but that's what I'm going to do. So which do you think I should use? I'm asking for your vote. Let's see. Nice. Choose happy. Okay, let's see. Choose happy. Loving the difference in the red petals, right? So it works. It totally works. It gives like some variation to the color, which I think is really cool. This is part of the creative process, is just letting you I make decisions as I go. So I have in my mind kind of what I want to do, but I'm not committed. I'm not like totally committed to the end result. I'm not going to put a lot of expectation on the end result. That's when it takes the joy out of it. If you have it in your head, set in stone, that this is the way it's going to turn out, then that takes away from the freedom to make creative decisions as you go. So I encourage you guys to really commit to the joy of the process of creating and let go of the expectation you have of the outcome. This is what my paid membership group, the Craft Therapy Club, this is what I am constantly encouraging the ladies to do. We learn new techniques every month. We do a new project every month. I teach one live project a month in the group. I do all the planning, give them the supply list. I give them the templates, like everything that they need. But I want them to take the creative freedom to just make their decisions as they create it, so that it is really unique to them and it reflects their creativity and their style. It's so important. I think it's so important, and it really does bring the joy back to creating. If you focus on what the outcome is going to be and not on the process, I find that it's just more difficult to truly enjoy this as a long-term hobby. Okay, here we go. I'm going to paint right over that dark black that's there. There's like parts of the stencil are open, and so I want to cover up the black wreath form with my florals so that it's more obscured. I'm going to come in with a little bit of white. Let me show you. This is going to give it a pop of color. Look at my floral now. I did all of the outside petals, but do you see how there's some open parts? That's where the bridges of the, let me grab my, like right here, you can see the light green popping out, and in here, that's where the bridge for the floral is on the stencil itself. That's what holds the stencil together. The floral is going to have these lines, we call them bridges, these lines here. So it's going to leave, you can see my light green background popping out. So I'm going to do two things. I'm going to grab some white. Let me clean this brush a little bit. I'm going to grab me a little bit of white. It's a bold color. You could use yellow. I don't want to introduce a new color though. I think white is very neutral. So I'm going to grab some white, and I'm going to come in my center, and I'm going to fill in where the bridge was with some white lines, following the shape of the floral. And I'm not even trying to fill it in perfectly. I'm just, see what I did? I just gave it some detail. Now listen, I could totally go in and outline all of the floral with white, but I don't think I'm going to do that. I normally, when I outline things, I normally outline in black with a detail brush. Let me grab a detail brush. So I think I'll do that on here. And it's going to fill in. What I'm trying to do is fill in where all the bridges were, like these spots that have these openings, like right here. I'm going to come in with black and I'm going to fill those in. It's going to be very, it's going to make it really finished look. So detail brush. It looks like a little pen. I'm grabbing my black paint and I'm going to outline all the shapes of these petals. I did a little bit of white in the middle, but I'm going to come in and outline. I need more paint. Hold on. I'm trying to do it close so you can see it. All of these gorgeous shapes of these petals. See that? So the stencil can be, you could do it just by itself and leave it just the way it comes in the package. Or feel the creative freedom to come in and add, like I added the white to the middle of my floral because I really wanted it to pop. I'm adding these dark lines, outlining so that I can see, really I want all of these individual petals to pop and to like really take root, like they're really solidly in place on this project. It really helps each one of these petals show so much better. Okay, and at the same time, it's filling in where all those bridges were. And you guys, I'm not trying to be perfect. Don't worry about, like, some of the lines are thicker than others. It's all good. It's okay. But this, you could come in and really make this your own. Let the stencil be your guide and then come in and embellish with your paintbrush and introducing some new colors. So there we go. Now that looks incredibly Christmassy to me because it looks like a poinsettia to me. But again, that's going to be influenced by the colors that you choose. Okay, let's see. Now, let me see if I can get this. Why is that? I've got a big comment in my way. I can't get rid of it. There we go. Okay. Oh, Robbie, I'm so glad you love it. I'm so glad you love it. You guys, this set, you can get it this month. You can get it this month for $1 if you sign up for the stencilofthemonthclub.com. If you sign up for this month, you'll get the wreath set with the florals and the words for $1. You can add on the wood grain background. I think all of it, my goal with the design for this month for you guys, my goal was to give you something. You can definitely use this for Christmas. I think this looks very Christmassy to me. Or you're going to be able to use this year round. You could, this flower could be purple. It could be yellow. It could be pink. You could use it for an Easter set, right? And put whatever words you want in the middle. Yes, it made a huge difference, Janice. She said it made a very big difference with the outlining. And it's, I didn't do it with the greenery, but I could, because you can see all those bridge lines with the greenery. I could come in. I didn't even, I wasn't even going to do that, but I could come in and do the greenery. We still have to do the words, and I want to look back and see what you guys decided for words, what you thought I should use. But look just come in if you want to hide where all of those bridge marks are. You can come in and just continue the line. I'll show you really close. So see where all the bridge marks are? Like focus on this one right here. This is really hard because I'm holding it up in the air and it's backwards for me. But I can fill in these lines, and don't put too much pressure on yourself. Just fill them in. No one is going to be studying these transitions from far away. But you can make those transitions disappear. Come in with that same color and fill them in. Okay? You don't have to. Looks totally fine from afar with them open. It looks more finished with them closed. There's no right, there's no wrong answer, girls. Like, you may choose to, I do this for some projects, and for some projects I leave it. They're both good answers. That's what I want to tell you. Like, don't, like you say, oh, well, I don't do, the ambassadors do that and I don't do that. Girl, you do you. Like, you really, it's your project. It's your creating time. It's your crafty creating outlet, right? So it's yours. You own it. You get to do what you want to do. We give it to you as suggestions, but you don't have to do it. I don't always do this. I really don't. Sometimes I do. Sometimes I don't. It just depends on what I'm feeling for the moment, how I think the project looks. but florals are really easy because they don't have to be super straight and linear. If you have a little bit of green going off, like my hand slipped and it went off a little bit, big deal. These things aren't perfectly symmetrical in nature either. This one I'm going to darken up by adding another coat of green because it's sitting right on top of that black wreath. Do you see how it pulled it all together by getting rid of, here I have one, I just saw one right here I missed. It's like filling in the blanks as far as I'm concerned. But it's not necessary. I just think it makes it more like my own, more artistic and more my own. Okay, I'm flipping loving that floral, you guys. Woo, I'm so excited about this today. All right, let's do some words, and I'm going to do them in black. I'm just going to keep it really simple and do the words in black. Yes, you can do a lot, Pam. Use the stencils as your guide, and then you take it from there and run with it. Let's see. I think they look great both ways. I do too, Susan. You can even buy the words Merry Christmas. Yes, you could put the words Merry Christmas in the middle. Totally. Paint the little berries red also. See, Mary, you can. See these little berries? You could totally paint them red. Let's do a couple. Oh, I just put my finger in a bunch of gray paint. I'm going to grab some red, and literally, you guys, this is just plopping on some berries. We don't have to paint anything real fancy here. I can just take my brush and plop the middle. So really what I'm trying to do is cover the green that's showing the background green. I'm going to fill in my berries, and I'm plopping it on there. My red paint has gotten very thick. It's gotten very thick. I'm just going to fill in these spots right here. Leave the green outline and fill those in. Good suggestion. I get really a little anxious, you guys, about the timing because I know I've been on here for a while. But all of these little details, like I said, they're optional. But I like to show you what the result is if you choose to do it. Like doing another layer of the wreath frame wasn't required. You can just do one layer. You don't have to have it double layered. But I really envisioned it being, but personally, when I created it, I was like, oh my gosh, it'd be great to have the wreath form so that you could do multiple layers. Look at how cute that is. I'm going to just fix this one a little bit. I could monkey with this forever. Let's get some words on here. Let's get some words on here. Dina says, I really, really love how you layered the wreath. I think it makes it just more, right? But it's nice to know you can keep it super simple. All right, let's see. What words did you guys come up with? Thank you for sprinkling. Yeah, you guys, please do that. Please help me spread the word about Essential Stencil, about this special today for the $1 to sign up for your first month and get this set. And for the Comfy Nest with Grace. I would love for you guys to come on over and follow and join my free craft community. All right, I'm not seeing what words you guys suggested. Like they must be really way back in the comments. All right, let's pick some words. So what I do like to do is to grab the words and just float them over. Like, do I want so blessed? Do I just want hello in there? I like the hello because it's really bold. Hey there, choose. I think a lot of you said try choose happy. And the other thing, you guys, I want to point out too, this could be the top of your wreath, or it could be the bottom of your wreath. You can position your wreath whatever way you want. I think I'm going to keep it to the top. It's the top right for me. Or excuse me, top left. And then I'm going to put the words in otherwise. So let's see. I better take the hairdryer to that so that my red blobs of paint don't get on my stencil. Hey there. Someone suggested hey there. Listen, and you could do that same bridge work for your wreath because you can see all the bridges between the lengths of the wreath. I'm not going to do all that because, you know, because of time, but you have that option. So blessed, somebody suggests. Hey, y'all would be cute. Blessed, simple and elegant, Megan says. I agree. Blessed mess. Oh, see all the options we have, girls? See all the options that come with this? And then there's these other two. I think I'm leaning toward the hello because it's just so bold and I love it. It's like modern and simple. I also like so blessed. go with hello just because it's super bold. It's actually, I'm holding it up backwards. And I'm going to use the black so that so it shows up really bold. So just float it over. I'm trying to figure out spacing. You want to make sure this is all dry. That's why I took the hairdryer to it. Because if I'm floating this and this is wet, you're just going to get a smudged mess. I think I like hello. Hey there would be really cute. Hey y'all. Oh, I don't know, you guys. Joyce says, go with your gut. Gail likes the flower on the bottom left. See, you can do whatever you want, girls. That's the beauty of it. I'm going to do hello. I'm going to do it pretty much centered. I'm going to pull it a little bit down. Here's centered. I'm going to pull it down a little bit into the right because I have this big bold thing here. I'm going to pull it down this way a little bit. Not a whole lot, but just a little bit down to the right. And I'm going to do hello, and I'm going to do it in black. Again, same technique. Check. This isn't laying flat because there's a rag on it. Check here. The edge of your stencil is perfectly straight. The edge of your board is perfectly straight. So check. I usually eyeball it, but you can check. 1 inch from the bottom here. I'm a little crooked. 1 inch from the bottom there is what you want. You can do the same thing on this edge. I always eyeball it. I don't take a ruler out. Mom, I don't got time for that. I'm too excited to stencil. But I do eyeball it. I do look and see if it looks a little off center. That's just another tip for you. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to use black. I have green on here. I don't want to clean it. Grab that piece of paper. The green will get obscured in the black, so I'm not worried about that. I could do it in green. You could do your letters in green, but I'm going to do them in black. I want them to match my my wreath. There's no right or wrong answer. You do you, girls. If you want to if you wanted to do white, that would be really contrasting and bright. And you have a little bit of white in the center of your flower. I tend to want to pick colors that are already in my project rather than introducing a new color. And I'm just going to go with black because it's going to be nice and bold. These are big, bold letters. So I'm going to stipple this on. You can rub it on. You're going to get a totally different effect, one or the other. When you stipple it on, it gives it a little more texture, and that works really well when you have big, bold elements to design. It's going to be nice and dark and bold. I ran out of paint already. I'm using more paint because I'm not spreading it. I'm stippling it on. So you use more paint, but then you're going to get that dark, bold. Look, that is what I want. Really dark, really bold. A little bit of texture. We're going to be done here in a second, and Essential Stencil is going to pull 3 names, winners for a set of stencils. But listen, girls, go right now to stencilofthemonthclub.com if you're not a member and sign up for your first month for $1. You'll get this set, and you can choose to add on, and I would, because that wood grain you're going to be able to use on a gazillion projects, add on the wood grain stencil as your add-on. You're going to want to have that in your collection. There's no doubt about it. Oh, it's so cute. All right. You guys, I love it. I love that it's really bold and it's a really simple, like it's not a really scrolly, handwritten font. It's just really simple. And look at how dark black that turned out. I love it because it matches the black here, but it's even more bold than, because I did it, remember on the wreath, I did kind of a scratchy technique to get that black on, and this one I stippled it on, so see how much darker it is? Oh my gosh, you guys, I hope you like this. I hope you like it. Yay! Stencil of the Month Club! Who's joining? Join us. It's so awesome, this set this month. Every month there's a new set that comes out straight to your door. Straight to your door. You can sign up for this month for $1 today with my code, THECOMFYNEST. After that, you can decide whether to stay in the group, whether to like re-enroll for a certain amount of time. I think when you enroll for certain levels, like if you prepay for like 3 months, 6 months, you get added benefits or discounts, so it's a little cheaper. I'm so glad you guys joined me for this project. I hope you love this stencil set this month. I'm honored to present it to you as an ambassador for Essential Stencil. I hope you'll come on over to the Comfy Nest with Grace and follow and like my page. I'd be honored by that too. I love to have your company. You guys have a beautiful, blessed day, and I'll catch some of you inside the club. I'll be doing more projects with this set this month live inside the group for the club. That's a private group, and everybody who joins the club gets an invitation to join us. So I'll see you in there, ladies. Have a beautiful, blessed day. Bye.